Hey everybody, welcome to the January 22nd edition of the Friday morning Intuit Developer Hangout. This week we're doing it live from the Hack Arizona event at the University of Arizona. Special guest today, we have Nick Morin. He is the media
marketing director
of the event. We also have two familiar faces. We have Manis and Tristan from the Intuit Developer team. They flew all the way into Tucson for this event too. So we're really excited to get things kicked off. I think we'll just jump in. Nick, can you tell us a little bit about the event itself?
Yeah, of course. So Hack Arizona was founded last March. This is our second event. We had 450 hackers last year. This year we're going around 800 to 1,000. Typical hackathon. We had 36 hours of peer software and hardware development over the weekend.
And this is the second year it's happening. So you're one of the founders of the event last year, correct? What's kind of the background, like why you founded it? Like how did you research before you decided to run the event? Like give us the background.
So hackathons are pretty big. Collegiate hackathons are pretty big in the United States, and we couldn't find one here. There wasn't one at ASU, NAU, or U of A. So we just got a group together of about 4 to 7 people, and we just started our own hackathon. And last year it was a huge success, and we were really happy to be behind that.
Cool, awesome. What events are planned for this weekend? So obviously we're doing this right now this morning, and give some rundown of the weekend.
So we have tech talks planned throughout the whole weekend. Intuit will have a tech talk. We have cool activities like a hypnotist, a comedian, yoga on the mall, which is basically the middle grass area on our campus tomorrow morning. So like workshop type stuff, and then fun as well.
Got it. What time? Like, what are the times?
So behind us, we have a live schedule, hackarizona.org/live for the exact schedule. I don't know them off the top of my head, unfortunately, but the first one I believe is tonight at 9 p.m. and it's intro to APIs with Ian Tracy, one of our founders.
Cool. Awesome. So we said the opening ceremonies are at 6 p.m.?
Yeah. So for an event rundown, check-in begins at 4, and you get to meet all these cool sponsors like you guys at ENR2 on campus. It's the newest building on campus. And then everyone will come over here after opening ceremony at 8, and they basically just find their camp for the weekend, go get dinner, and begin hacking.
Awesome. And then, so people are literally camping out here. They're sleeping. They're bringing tents.
Yeah. No tents, legally speaking. I guess one of the hackers brought that last year. So sleeping bags are cool, but no tents.
Yeah, I remember last year a tent. I think earlier you guys were discussing some of you and the rest of the Hack Arizona team. Like, you have a team driving in from San Francisco?
Yep. Yeah, we have students from all over Canada, London, Egypt, or those are the farthest students. A lot of students from ASU and Bay Area as well.
And then this is all part of the Major League Hacking?
Yeah, so it's an official Major League Hacking sanctioned hackathon. There's like 4,000 to 5,000 student hackathons in the United States, and we just entered that scale right now, so it's pretty cool to be a part of that.
So how many for Major League Hackathons, is that like just the top 5 size-wise to be in that group?
So actually Major League Hacking, it's pretty cool. So it's an organization of collegiate hackathons. I believe they do high school as well, MLH.io. And it's just a league. They bring a hardware lab and a representative to come help you throw the hackathon, any scale. They started it for smaller scale hackathons that couldn't afford a hardware lab. And then it scaled into, larger events. Pen Apps is one of the oldest hackathons. They're actually right now as well. So we're going, head to head with them, which is pretty cool. They're like 1,000 to 2,000. Yeah, East Coast. It's freezing over there. It's sunny over here. Flip flops. Come on.
So so they bring in hardware. So you're going to have a lot of hardware on site tonight.
Oh yeah, we will have a lot, and a lot of our sponsors bring in.
Specific.
So we got hobbyist drones. We have a lot of Raspberry Pis, Oculus Rifts. We have Pebble watches, Alienware laptops, just like a wide array of different hardware. And then there'll be software passes for different companies as well. Cool. And that's all on our live site, hackarizona.org/live.
Got it. And everybody's getting fed, Red Bull, all that kind of stuff.
The most delicious food in Tucson will be here. We can only pick like 4 to 5 restaurants. So next year we'll have some new restaurants. But we have Italian food tonight with Roma Imports. And then tomorrow we have a Mexican dinner, and tomorrow lunch. It might be on here. Just really, really good food. Plenty of caffeine. We got Red Bull will be here with 6,000 cans just starting out.
6,000 cans.
It's a lot. You can quote me on that. We got guaranteed 6,000 cans. Yes. You like Red Bull?
Hopefully not that much.
Yeah. Coffee, we'll have a coffee bar. Red Bull will have their own bar set up as well. They'll be handing out new flavors. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So Nick, I know I've seen you at Startup Tucson weekend events, weekend events, and I know you've done a lot of hackathons. I know you've won events before.
Yeah.
And Tristan, you've won a hackathon event. And Manus, you've participated in hackathons. Have you won also a hackathon? Yeah. All right. So since and actually I have two, but I won't give my tips. Since all of us have won hackathons or startup weekends, can each one of you kind of give hey, here's the 3 most important things that you need to do when you're in a hackathon or an event like this.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, when I went to, it was a smaller scale Google Developer Group hackathon. I just found someone that I wanted to work with over the weekend. And, it was more of like a mentorship thing. They taught me a lot throughout the weekend. So that was pretty cool for our hackathon, since it's a little bit larger. I think that was like a 40-person hackathon that I went to. But for a larger event, it is definitely about the team. But learning, you want to come here. There's all these workshops you can go to. Some of the workshops that we're teaching, you just can't get that in a regular CS curriculum across the United States. So it's like, go to learn, go to meet people, go out and talk to companies like you guys. That's the biggest thing. Cool.
Yeah, I want to echo Nick's comments. The learning aspect is super big. You have people on your team who are really experienced in other areas, perhaps than you are. And that's just such a good opportunity to work side by side with them and really, improve your skill set right there in the hackathon. But if you want to win, a big part of it is how you present what you've done, right? So the presentation can be the make or break point for a lot of people in their hackathon, and you want to make sure that the work you've done is adequately shown. Don't lie about what you've done, but don't forget to mention the struggles you had and the final outcome that you received.
Yeah, one thing I totally agree with you folks, that networking is the biggest thing. You will get to know a lot of people, and you should talk to as many people as possible. So that is a single biggest thing. And second thing, I would say that I've seen it is only 1.5 day hackathon. Sometimes people think too much about the features and all these things and nitty-gritty details. So instead of thinking on all those details, people should think about one such use case they should develop, and then some think about a presentation. So altogether, it should be a good package instead of simple a technological task and all this. It should be a good package. So these are the 2 things.
I think my experience has always been focus on one thing, nail that, and be prepared for the hundreds of other questions, and just say, oh, that's a V2. We have that in our V2 roadmap. You just kind of make it up. The other thing I think which you guys touched on, the networking is important, but I almost feel like the friendships you get, you actually meet, when you hang around somebody for 3 straight days, 24 hours a day, you really start to make close relationships with people, and you really have friends. I mean, the reason I know Nick is Startup Weekend. There's now Ian, the other founder, is because of Startup Weekend. And I run the same team together. So you really get to know people really well. And I think that's the biggest thing you probably take away, is you're going to make friends here that maybe are at other universities, other campuses, other companies. It's really, really impressive. Can you give some background? I'm going to grab the stickers, but about the logo. I love the logo. It speaks of Arizona.
Okay. So first and foremost, Jordan Singer, one of the most talented graphic designers I've ever worked with. He designed this logo. Last year was the green color scheme. This year, since it was winter, last year was March. This year, since it was winter, we went more with the icy, winter theme. Colors for next year is up in the air, but obviously USB cactus. That was our first version of the logo, and we haven't changed it since. So I guess that's a good sign that it's a solid logo. But everyone loves it. It's super unique. You'll go to other hackathons and you'll see, kind of their voice and their logo. And I think this one, really speaks for us being in the Southwest, the cactus theme that no other hackathon is going to do, right? Because we're the largest one here.
Probably, that's true. I'm imagining the hackathons are going to use a cactus in the logo for sure, definitely. So it's really interesting. I know you guys said you have about 400 people maybe coming down from ASU. So I think that's a rival school, right? Yeah. Have you worked with people, organizers on their side, to get that much of attendance?
So here, I was just talking with someone this morning. The coolest thing is there's a rivalry, U of A, ASU, butting heads. But when it comes to a hackathon, all barriers are removed. We've been working with their software developer group at ASU, and they actually funded all their buses coming down here. They have six plus buses Tons of
It's definitely
ASU
an
hackers
organized
coming
effort.
down here.
They're coming
Oh yeah,
out.
I'm on the phone and Facebook with them pretty much every week, the president of that club. And since they don't have a hackathon, this is an outlet for them to, go and have their own, hackathon. They have their own shirts. It's like a
great.
mini, like ASU hackathon in Hack Arizona. And it's like, it's not Hack U of A, it's not Hack ASU, it's cohesive, Hack Arizona.
To get from NAU.
NAU, so we got around 60 that are coming on a bus or a couple buses, and I'm sure some people will drive down as well. One of the winners last year, the drone category from NAU.
They came down from NAU.
Yep.
Cool. Any questions, guys?
I'd love to learn more about, sort of the team you guys have. Are you all computer science?
No, so I'm actually not. The majority of our team is computer science. I'm in the information school here on campus.
Oh, cool.
We have people in our business school here. One really, unique aspect of our team is since it's so diverse, we always have different perspectives when it comes to,
Right.
Solving a problem. Jordan has his design background. I have my marketing background. Travis has like heavy math background. We're all so diverse, and that's shown in our event. And you guys will see it. You guys weren't here last year, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm excited for you guys to see this and hear your feedback at the end of the weekend. It's pretty well organized. I like to think.
Yeah, I only stopped by for a couple hours last year, just to see how it was going, and yeah, I was very impressed with the turnout. I was really impressed and surprised with the amount of hardware stuff. Like people are doing some crazy stuff with hardware. I actually brought my two boys with me. They were just so impressed. Like they got to play with Oculus Rift and some like motion sensors to control hovercraft.
Awesome.
They were out there on the football field, and these guys were flying hovercraft everywhere, and not hovercraft, but drones everywhere, and it's just really cool in general to see what the teams are working on.
And you should bring them on Sunday. It's like open demo day.
Yeah, they might swing by tonight, and I might have them with me on Sunday.
Perfect.
They'll be tagging along here and there for sure.
That'd be great.
And so Sunday, speaking of the event on Sunday, that's open 100% to the public.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Please make sure any of you watching this, here's how you go to this.
Yeah, so Student Union at the University of Arizona in the Grand Ballroom. We have both the North and South Grand Ballroom. That's open to the public. It's basically going to be science fair style. So all the teams will submit their projects. They'll get a table. They'll pitch it to judges, other attendees, and to the public. That way they get, instant feedback of what to, work on next time or, improve upon their team or what they did really well. So last year with our motto, it's just like we ran out of time with judging. Then we had to run the closing ceremony, announce winners. So this year we're looking to double the time in the judging. That way they get, more valuable feedback. And then we're going to announce the winners 24 hours after on our website, hackarizona.org.
Got it. Gotcha. Can you speak to like maybe the tools you used, organizing them? Because I know you're using a tool for the judging, and then you're using obviously Slack, and like kind of talk about what tools you use to run a hackathon in general.
Yeah, number one is Slack. We have a Slack for our team, like our organizing team. I have one for our marketing team, and then we have a general Slack, hackarizona2016.slack.com. For all attendees, volunteers, mentors, sponsors. So Slack is major key to success. It's free for a certain, I think it's like 10,000 messages. Then you have to, pay for archive. But Slack's number one. And then Typeform for applications. I give a huge shout out to them. Sleek applications are really easy to work with. And then everything else is custom built. Ian, Jordan, Travis just built all of our tools. So the hacker portal that all of our sponsors have access to, Ian built by himself from scratch. That basically allows our sponsors to connect with all our attendees for an internship and full-time job. And then registration when they arrive in person at 4 at ENR2. Jordan built that from scratch last year, like day of. It's like always last minute, but the tools work well. They get the job done. If it's internal, like it doesn't really have to be front facing. So as long as it works. So those are the major tools we use.
How are obviously the sponsors are paying for things. Is it when the rest of the year when you have the event, I mean, is that all your money, your funding? Do you get funding from the university? Do you get funding from anywhere else, or is this?
So the model for hackathons, like the majority of it, are coming from sponsors. Like Intuit wants brand exposure and maybe talent acquisition as well with like Intuit Careers, for example. So that's the majority of our funding. I don't believe, I mean, the U of A and like libraries do so much, like providing this venue and helping us with waivers and stuff. Like we don't ask for money from them. They help us out in kind and, you know, other ways. And that's majority of our funding is coming from outside sponsors. But we're looking to innovate on that in the next year, you know, get feedback from the sponsors and see what else they'd like to work with us on.
Okay. So last year you were just in this one building, but now you're using 3 buildings in campus.
Yeah, so so we're definitely going to hit our capacity for this building. We're allowed to market 800 people, but you know we have a lot of applications that came in. So
It means a lot.
Yeah, we had a lot. So we'll have all 5 floors of this library, science and engineering, and then we'll have I don't want to be misquoted, but potentially overflow in main library and grand ballroom for closing. And then ENR2, I guess, for opening ceremony as well.
Very
4, yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, just I don't know if I have any other questions or I think of anything, but we have what time is it right now for the people watching? It's 10:20, so we could go on for 40 more minutes. We could cut off early. I don't know what other questions or thoughts we have.
I would just want to, you know, another thing I want to know from you is, you know, what do you think is going to be the craziest thing you see in terms of hacks to here?
Well, last year my expectations were blown out of the water.
Right.
So the winner last year had an ASL translator, these gloves, and he would do, you know, sign language and it would emit a voice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was just like, wow. Like I would have, if you would ask me this question last year, I would have not expected that at all.
I remember.
So I'm looking, since Raytheon has a lot extra hardware this year. I mean, they brought a lot last year. They're bringing a lot more this year. And they're opening up the overall drone category around information around drones. So we're going to see a lot more innovative projects around that area. So I'm most interested. I mean, my personal favorite would be the drone project. So something just super cool around maybe, you know, FAA regulations, you know, controlling the drone with your phone in a unique way. We saw a lot of like Oculus Rift and Myo armband controlled drones last year. And those are just, they're so cool. If you guys have time Sunday, you know, you'll be at the ballroom, but if you have like 30 minutes, run over to Bear Down Field and check out some of those projects. They're crazy.
Yeah, I remember going to the field last year, and I actually had the boys with me, and like a couple of times, like
it's a little
experimental. Like, people lose
everyone
control of their drone, and it's like nobody move.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone just stands there like, uh-oh, and then you see them on the ground. They're like, oh shit, we lost control. It's just like.
But I think some of those drones though are a little high end. They have some sort of once they get out of a certain range, they it's either call back or they hover in a certain spot, and you can walk them and grab them out of the air. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the parrots are pretty nice.
Actually, that's a good question, Tristan. So I'll ask you, like, what's something cool you want to see from here, or you too, Matt?
I mean, obviously, I'd want to see some kind of cool integration with QuickBooks Online.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Which I think, I mean, there's a lot of hardware here, right? So there's a lot of interesting ways I think people will think up to make that sort of connection, in terms of having maybe the healthier small business interact with in the real world, you know, like a physical device. So that I think could be really cool. But yeah, I haven't done a lot in the drone space, so I think that'll be
I could see a drone delivery and the merchant just pays like right when the package lands.
Right, yeah.
Like there's so many different ways you can go with that.
Yeah, and it could plug back into the QuickBooks API and take that item that it just delivered out of inventory for sure.
I'm also looking forward to some integration, IoT related integration with QuickBooks Online, mainly in POS world and all these things. Maybe something related to hardware. Really looking forward to it, because usually, you know, these integrations are mainly related to invoicing, operations, and all these things. But here we have an opportunity to see how new developers can come up with something new, cool stuff. I mean, unconventional way, something innovative. Yeah, really looking forward to it.
And these students, you know, they probably don't have the same mental hurdles as a lot of our developer community.
Yeah, different perspective.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you guys talk about maybe the category or prize that you guys are offering this year?
Yeah, so the main prize category for us is going to be an integration with QuickBooks Online. So we have a RESTful API We have web-based standards, so it's OpenID, OAuth to access the data. We have on the developer site, you can create an app within 15 minutes, and we have a sandbox, and we have an API Explorer, so you can really get those payloads of your calls through the API Explorer to go a little faster, make it easier. I think for yes, creating it just a software integration is cool at one level, but then I'm on the same page with these guys. I was looking at the sponsor list of all the hardware that's going to be here, and I'm like, oh, it's exciting. Like imagine an Amazon Echo at a shoe store. So the shoe guy can just say, do you have any size 7 of this shoe in? And the Amazon Echo would just come back and say, there's 5 of those in stock. And so that guy doesn't A, have to walk to the back room, the small business owner, and B, he doesn't even have to walk up to a PC. It's kind of that abstraction layer of QuickBooks and your accounting system and your business data being interfaced with through some other layer, be it Glove, be it Amazon Echo. I think also I was even thinking about this morning, Jawbone's going to be here, right?
Yeah.
Like I could see even a simple integration where you track the steps in Jawbone, and that translates into a way you can maybe bonus your employees on that because they're healthier. So you can give your employees a motivational bonus on their paychecks or something like that. So I think you start looking at the sponsors, then you think about all the types of small businesses that are out there and the technology stack. The Internet of Things is really, really exciting and where that's headed for sure. And then prize-wise, I know we're giving out Chrome backpacks, which are cool. So we have these awesome branded Chrome backpacks that are made in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Made in San Francisco. And then they're going to be stuffed with a bunch of stuff, but I don't remember what it is. I think it's a Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry Pi is in there. That's the only one I remember.
Toothbrush.
No, that's why
Toothbrush,
you get David Leary's toothbrush. Yes. And then I'll invite you to my private Slack group if you have the toothbrush. Awesome. Anything, Manus? Anything else on your mind?
Yes, I'm totally excited, seriously, because there are so many hardware-related stuff. I'm personally very much interested in all these things, especially Raspberry Pi and Arduino-related things, and really, really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to open up the Q&A panel and see if, for any of you that are kind of watching the event externally, I'm going to open that up and see if you guys have any questions or want to pop in questions in the Q&A panel. But it is slid open now. Feel free to definitely ask a question, which sometimes it doesn't happen, and then other times it does. So we'll leave it open on the side here and keep an eye on that. Nick, would it be possible for you to grab Ian or send the other guys? Because it'd be nice just if the team came in and just said hi to the world and everybody else.
Let's go. Let's see who's back here.
Cool. Exciting. Yeah. I think we should do these live like this every week now.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
It's so much better. I don't know. We either have to do more events or always just do it live. Here we go. We'll squeeze it in. Yeah, squeeze in, Ian. I'll slide over a little bit. Travis, you coming too?
Jump in, man.
So here, Manus, don't block off yourself. Get in a little bit. We can all fit in. We can all fit in. It's also a big selfie stick. There you go. Hey, Nick went and got some more of the team from the Hacker Arizona team. This is Ian. Hey. And are you the kind of quote unquote the driver founder of this whole
little bit? We're all kind of founders. In
okay. And then
I'm Travis.
Travis. Okay, Travis. Yeah, nice to meet you. I know, Nick, we spoke with a little bit more event details, et cetera, but one thing I think from maybe you guys is a question we asked, like, what are you excited to see? Like, what are you hoping that people take away from this?
I think the biggest thing for us, I mean, this is our second year doing this, so obviously our perspective has changed on, I think, our mission and what we're trying to actually look for in these events. Last year was very much starting it and showing that it's possible that we can have an event like this in Tucson, and it's not just reserved for places like Silicon Valley or New York City. And this year, I think we're very much focusing on deepening the hacker experience. So making an event that's not just, okay, it's going to happen in Tucson, but something that they can really take away a lot from. They can work with their peers, learn a new technology, kind of feel like they have the ability to fail and the willingness to fail, which is really important. And I think the biggest takeaway we really want from other people is that we shouldn't be the only people doing this and having these conversations about technology in the Southwest. They should throw similar events, and they should kind of build their own support network to kind of make sure that we can have a cohesive community where we're not at the center of it. And I think that's really important.
It's interesting to talk about community. Sponsors coming in that aren't even based in Tucson at all. Some of the sponsors are in Tucson, but then I think you guys were talking this morning, like somebody's renting a minivan and is just going to drive people from the airport to bring them to the site that are landing at some of the attendees. Can you kind of speak to the kind of the local Tucson community and the support you've gotten locally beyond the university itself? You guys want to jump on it?
Yeah, so we've gotten a lot of local communities like Intuit, right?
Maybe a little bit louder.
Oh, sorry. We've gotten support for obviously Intuit, another company, Latitude, that Ian and I both work at, as well as a library helping us out. What else? What else besides it?
I think it's really that Tucson's kind of an underdog sort of community, right? I mean, we're not a tech hub. We're not sort of the center of its people. So I think So and I think people are here very hungry and willing to try new things and to try to get to a point where they feel like they could compete with sort of the upper dogs. And I think we've seen a tremendous amount of support from local startups, even from people in Phoenix that go to ASU and that whole community, in Tempe. We've seen it up in Flagstaff. And so we don't want this to be as Tucson-centric as basically uniting the entire state and trying to build a pipeline that I think makes sense for this area and for the state at large.
This is exciting. I know the Expensify, one of our bigger apps on apps.com, they have integration with QuickBooks Online. And obviously, probably heard of Expensify. I know they do a lot of recruiting at ASU, and that they have a bunch of employees that went to ASU. So I think you guys are causing that ripple, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Or you made the comment about recruiting because you the job at Venmo, right, to do intern, and they're like, oh, we don't recruit at University of Arizona. And so you're really, I think, opening people's eyes up to that. It's a possibility now, and it's not just like,
definitely
medical people.
Yeah, I think we're definitely trying to start. I mean, our main goal is to start the conversation, right? And so we know at the end of the day, it starts, the first landmark in this long roadmap is potentially this event, and it ends with that cohesive community. The rest of the roadmap is kind of is blank right now. We don't necessarily know what that looks like. And that's why I think integrating other people with this conversation is really important from a whole bunch of diverse backgrounds. So it's not just the U of A, it's not just us, it's not just Tucson, but it's kind of the whole state and Southwest at large.
Got it. I love the concept of it's all just a blank slate still.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out. It's great. I think, Nick, I'll leave things up to you for some closing comments, and then I think we'll probably shut this down.
Great. Definitely go on hackarizona.org/live, and you can join the Slack if, for the attendees watching this, and you guys can join the Intuit channel as well, so you can talk with people throughout the weekend. Thanks for this opportunity. We're gonna have a really fun weekend.
Yeah.
Might lose a couple hours of sleep, but that's fine for the greater good. But thanks again. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that we're here.
Yeah. That's cool.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
See you next week.